Another Sunday market breakdown. So welcome everyone. As you can see on the watch list, we've got a couple of pairs that we're looking at. There we go. A couple of pairs that are looking good, looking nicely, also nicely aligning with monthly closes. So yeah, let's get into it. The first one is Australian dollar, US dollar. What can I see? First of all, I see a bullish gem. One, two, three, bit lower. And 3 weeks ago, we got an engulfing close. We had a switch of momentum, creating a possible shoulder, head, shoulder pattern. Now, what happened 2 weeks ago? We entered the bullish fake out zone right here, and we activated this head and shoulder pattern with this wick. Now, what do I expect after a weekly reversal? I expect the price to push more towards the downside. And what happened previous week? We were still trading in this fake out zone. We got an engulfing close. So the bulls clearly are back in play. So at this point, we have a weekly bullish gem with a fake out. So what I'm expecting, a retest to the upsides. Now I need some daily confirmation with that. What do I have on the daily? I have bullish gems, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, with shoulder, head, potentially shoulder, aligning nicely, with our weekly retest zone from the weekly bullish gap. What I also find is very interesting here on the zone is that we have buyers, push, push. We have some more liquidity here, but we also have sellers. So when we're below the zone, we have sellers. When we're above the zone, we have buyers. So very strong, very interesting supply and demand zone. So waiting for the price to come here to look for a potential entry. Will not go directly on this one, considering the price action on the daily is not really in my most favor, but that's a personal decision. Next one on the watch list is New Zealand dollar, US dollar. What do we have? Currently, we have inverse head and shoulders, switch of momentum. We had impulse, correction with the trend, switch of momentum. Here, we were looking to trade a short, shoulder 1, the head, shoulder 2. But previous week, we got a very bullish close, breaking above this weekly beginning of the correction from this weekly bullish gem pattern, which ultimately happened to be a fake out. Now, I'm not interested in looking for short setups from this zone, but I'm waiting for this supply and demand zone to be tapped to look for a potential short. Now, I don't think this is interesting. First of all, we have an IC. Second of all, we have lots of sellers, lots of sellers, but also again, buyers. So again, another strong supply and demand zone. Waiting for the zone to be tapped, look for a potential entry. Next one on the watch list is pound Swiss. Very simple price action. We have a bearish W, 1, 2, 3. We have came back impulsively, ascending channel, correction with the trend, boom, switch of momentum. We have our in head and shoulder pattern here, shoulder 1, D head, shoulder 2, which took liquidity here on this zone. And then previous week, we had a bearish close. So this is a phase 2 trade. Obviously looking for some daily confirmation. And what do I have on the daily? A nice bearish W. 1, 2, 3, potential fourth leg, boom, and potential fifth leg. So waiting for the price to hit the zone. Next one on the watch list is Australian dollar, yen. This is a two-way setup for me. First of all, very interesting price action. For multiple weeks, we have tried to break above this weekly high. And every time the sellers kicked in. So we never managed to break above. Previous week, we broke impulsively above. If for the past weeks we have had a lot of resistance on the zone and then we break above the zone, I'm expecting a retest, at least a retest of this zone. So first of all, I'm looking for a short setup, but I need to have some zone on the daily that gives me confirmation for this short setup. Now, first of all, what can I see? We are currently almost at our weekly highs. So we have sellers sitting here. Now I need one more thing, and that is a daily fib completion. Now what can I see? Is that this daily fib completion is aligning nicely minus 27. Fib completion is aligning nicely with this daily high. So first of all, I am waiting for the zone to be tapped to look for a short setup up until this weekly high, weekly low for the retest, potentially trading the bullish M pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first of all, we trade the retrace towards this zone, and then here we trade the long setup along with our weekly bias. Next one on the watch list is AUD CAT. AUD CAT, what can I see? A bullish M. We broke a little bit above the weekly high, so phase 3 has already ended for me. This is the start of the phase 4. Phase 4 trades needs daily confirmation. So this is a bit more of a long setup. Here I have a natural M, 1, 2, 3, waiting for my zone to be tapped to look for an entry. Next one on the watch list is Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I love seeing this price action. We have, let's see, we have impulse, correction, impulse, correction with the trend, ascending channel, boom, switch of momentum. What do we have here? Shoulder 1, D head, and shoulder 2. And considering this is an IC, I will place my zone of interest on the lower part of the IC. Now, again, this is a two-way trade. First of all, if the price pushes towards here, taps this zone, I will look for a 4-hour entry because this is a zone where previous time strong bullish power has kicked in. So first of all, I'm looking for a long setup from this zone. And when the price comes back to this zone, making the head and shoulder pattern, I'm looking for a short setup. So depending on where the market goes first, you just have to be sharp on that. The next one on the watch list is Swiss yen. Swiss yen, also a phase 4 trade. What can I see is that we currently broke above this weekly high. Previous time we had resistance, we had some sellers kicking in, but the bulls have managed to close above the weekly high, starting in phase 4. Now I need to see some daily confirmation. And we have here this beautiful bullish M pattern. 1, 2, 3. I'm waiting for the retest of the weekly high and the tap of the daily zone. And then I will look for a long setup. And the next one on the watch list is New Zealand dollar yen. Same story as Swiss yen. First of all, we have here the weekly high, and we managed to break above the weekly high. So what can happen is that we potentially retest the weekly high to go towards the upside. If that happens, I will look for daily patterns. So if, let's say, we get push, push, IC, push, I will look for an entry here. But what has my favorite position right now is that we complete this inner structure bullish M. So I want the price to retrace back towards this zone to look for a direct 4-hour entry. So yeah, these are the pairs on the watch list. As usual, there's still some zones to be tapped, and there's also some other pairs on the watch list or not on the watch list that still need a lot of development. So yeah, good luck trading this week and see you on the review.